Good morning, Magic lovers, and people who like to get up early. It's time for Magic Before Work. And today, we are changing it up a little bit. We're going to kind of do a little research phase here, because honestly, I've been having a great time with Izzet Flash. It's an amazing deck. I love this deck. But it's been 5 days now of streaming it, and it just seems like it's probably about the right time to try and switch up decks. But we're going to do a little test phase with the Dimir Control deck that I saw on our spikes. Yeah, sorry, I'm looking to the side so I can see it. Our spikes posted by Holens. He may have also... I'll feel really dumb if he also did the Izzet Flash deck. I hope that's not true. If he did, then also thank you for this deck. But so, Dimir Control. Dimir is a color combo, so it's blue-black for the non-initiated, non-magic initiated. That focuses on, typically has had a control element. I've never played in a meta where there's an aggro element to it, but it's a control. It's the hardest of hard controls, and I guess probably where it sits now. Let's put it this way: I'm a little concerned about this deck in that I think it's probably worse. It's good against many decks, but it's not really great against any deck. And it just kind of has a lot of contingencies. We'll see. We're going to test it in some unranked, in the unranked best of one play queue today, this morning. That's my plan. Just so we can kind of pilot it, get some practice. But so to kind of go through the deck, the way it's supposed to work, maybe we should switch to this view. The idea is the deck is just supposed to have a lot of answers to many different things, and then ultimately just closes out with Ashiok, Liliana, or God-Eternal Kefnet, one of these 4 cards. So your win conditions are very low in this deck, which is much different than Izzet Flash, right? Izzet Flash, we had, multiple flash creatures that would come in, and that was our line. We were just going to beat him down with a creature. I'm going to play a creature on 2 or 3, flash it in, and then hold up counter spells and just keep bopping them. This deck, right, you're going to be just kind of sitting. We're going to be sitting back. We're going to be doing some hand hate, right? We've got Thought Erasure, Tyrant, Scorn. We want to get some counter spells up with Sinister Sabotage, Thassa's Intervention. And then we've just got some other control for the board, right? So Eat to Extinction. What's Cling to Dust? Oh, Cling to Dust is get rid of stuff out of graveyard, gain some life, draw a card, a good card. Tyrant, Scorn, things like that to kind of make sure. And then obviously board clears, Cry the Carnarium, Ritual of Soot. In the past when I've played decks that are kind of modeled off this, right? I haven't done in this meta yet, that's why we're doing it now. But I played this style of deck back when you would run 2 Lilianas as your high end and maybe 2 Kefnets in the middle, right? That's probably was my finishers in that style of deck. And it was honestly, it always felt like a feast or famine deck, right? You'd be against a mono red, you'd either draw a Ritual of Soot or a Cry, or you would not draw them and you'd just get completely obliterated, you wouldn't have a chance. But we'll see. This deck's a little bit different, right? I didn't typically run Augur of Bolas, which is a really interesting card for this deck, and good, right? A 1/3 blocker for 2. When it comes into play, I get to look at 3 cards. I can reveal an instant or sorcery from among them and put it in my hand. That's strong. That's good. I get a blocker plus a little card selection. Opt didn't often do that. Has some synergy with God-Eternal Kefnet. And even though we won't be using the sideboard, it's probably worth looking out. See, and this is more geared towards countering certain types of decks. So Disfigure, we're going against aggro, right? Ether Gust for the red-green decks of the world. More hand hate if I'm going against a control deck, like an Agonizing Remorse. Obviously, Noxious Grasp was a great card. Interesting one that I don't think everyone knows about, but Pharika's Libation is a good card, right? I can make an opponent sack a creature or sack an enchantment, a way to deal with those pesky gods that can get in the way. And then a Thief of Sanity, and some spicy cards down here. Unmoored Ego, don't see that one very often. Removes copies of a card from from their library, their graveyard, in their hand. Enter the God-Eternals. Surprised not to see more of these in the deck. This is a card that I'd always probably run 2 or 3 of in my decks in the past, but maybe it's right. Maybe that's just the way it is. And then Thought Distortion, which is an amazing card. Hard to cast, 6 mana, but it's really good in those control matchups, right? Target opponent reveals his hand, exile all non-creature, non-land cards from the player's hand. So amazing against blue-white control. But I think we just get in there, start practicing this deck a little bit, get used to how to pilot it, how to handle it. I haven't looked very closely at the mana base, which maybe I should have. It shouldn't be too hard. 2 colors are usually pretty easy to manage. So let's see how this goes. We are against Zach in game 1. Zach, what will you bring to us today? And we can already tell we're in trouble. Remember when I said the mana should be easy? So you have Blast Zone and Swamps, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 blue cards and a Liliana. So this is not going to do it for us. We do go first, but yeah, this is not going to do it. So let's mulligan. This looks a lot better. We've got a Temple of Deceit, a Watery Grave, and an Island. So 3 lands, and then 2 Thought Erasures, a Tyrant, Scorn, and a Cling to Dust. So I think we're going to keep this, and we're just going to bottom the Cling to Dust. Because, right, I don't know if my opponent's going to have any graveyard-specific stuff, but I know he will want to have cards in his hand, so it's beautiful. And then we will play our Temple of Deceit first to scry. We're starting with 6 cards. Do I keep the Opt? I think so. Because I'm going to be spending next turn 2 mana, turn after that 2 mana again on one of these spells, and the Opt. So, and our opponent plays a Island. Let's just get in their hand, find out exactly what they're cooking. Kaya's Wrath, Banishing Light, Cavalier of Dawn, Shatter the Sky, and Charming Prince. Well, we're not going to be playing permanents or creatures for really almost ever. So Kaya's Wrath can stay, and so can Shatter the Sky. These cards are basically already dead in his hand. Banishing Light is anti-Planeswalker play, but we're pretty far away. We're not even holding one, so I'm not going to worry about that. So I think the Charming Prince goes, and then the Cavalier of Dawn. So let's get rid of that first. An Island. At this point, do I want an Island? Probably. That made it, you know what? Keeping that Island might have been a mistake. I have an Opt in hand. I mean, this lets me not shock for it. Let's Thought Erasure him again. And now a Treacherous Blessing to let him draw a bunch of cards. I think I get rid of this. It's too good, isn't it? Treacherous Blessing. Yeah. And there's an Ashiok. Beautiful. I'll keep that. I mean, now he's got this Banishing Light up. Next, let's let our opponent take his turn. We'll Opt. We're definitely going to take the... Well, maybe I shouldn't Opt. Because do I get any value out of opting here? Maybe not. I think we wait. Because there might be a card I want to bottom this next turn. Let's put it into play. End turn. Here's the issue. I can't really play my Ashiok into this Banishing Light. It looks like our opponent's stuck on lands a little bit. Chemister's Insight is great here. Because I do want to catch him on cards. There's our 5th land, and we cannot play this until... So, this is kind of an interesting thing to get used to, right? In a tempo deck, on 5, I'd want to slam this thing down right away and put a lot of pressure on our opponent. And sometimes I might do that. Maybe it's probably not right. But in this control deck, right, I know that this is one of my only finishers in the whole deck. So I can't really afford to throw this out here and have this guy Banishing Light it. That's going to be essentially horrible for me. So I've got to hold this until I find... And we have counter magic, so I've got to hold it. Oh, boy. Your devotion to each color and each combination of colors is increased by 1. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. If you control a god, a demigod, or a legendary enchantment, you gain 1 life. Okay. So a mana rock. Interesting. Let's Chemister's Insight. Draw. We will probably be discarding this Cry. And we've got lots of lands now. See, this is where I maybe should have bottomed that card earlier. So our opponent still has the Cavalier, and we do not have an answer for it yet, which is bad for us. He's actually this is actually kind of okay. He's super far away from playing the Cavalier yet, and we will Chemister's Insight now. So Island or Cry? Probably the Cry. I don't see him playing anything that's going to really get hit by the Cry, and we have more board clears in the deck. E to Extinction, perfect answer. Let's drop our Temple of Deceit here. Swamp, I don't want more lands at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That'd be perfect for us to find a one of our counter spells for 3 mana. That would be perfect. That's what we're shopping for right now. And down comes the Cavalier of Dawn. We're just going to exile this right away, I think. Did he not destroy any permanents? He didn't. Okay. Let's get rid of that. And an Augur of Bolas, we'll keep it. It's going to let us look at 3 cards, so it's just better. Right, and there's the Augur of Bolas. Wow. These are all duds, but Sure. Take the Ritual of Soot. What else did we... They go to the bottom, right? What else did we bottom? Oh, I don't know. Whatever. So, I guess we can throw out the Blast Zone here. I mean, I could maybe hope that he'll cast Banishing Light on this Augur of Bolas. Doesn't look good right now. This is the hard part. Like, how do I win this game? Glass Casket. I actually think I'm gonna bounce this back. I don't think I'm gonna have a target for that spell. And I really want to look for that counter spell, right? To protect this Ashiok Nightmare Muse. He doesn't let me go. Okay. So let's start with a Thought Erasure. See what he's cooking. This might be good though. So we have 2 Banishing Lights now in his hand. So let's get rid of 1 Banishing Light. Castle Vantress. Boy, am I... I mean, I'm going to go past it anyways, so there's really no reason for me to keep it. And a Chemister's Insight is great. Okay. And we actually get to cast it too. We have so many frickin' lands. Alright. And down comes the Charming Prince. That's fine. He's probably going to... Yep, he's going to scry too. Makes sense. He actually doesn't have a lot of lands still. I have a ton of lands. 1 top, 1 bottom. Alright, Zach. I mean, this guy has definitely not lost all hope yet, so let's Chemister's Insight here. And draw. Oh boy, we'll never, ever, ever find a counterspell, will we? I'll keep another Augur of Bolas, I guess. Look at 3 more cards. There's our Sinister Sabotage. Now the real question is... So we're not going to play Ashiok now anyways. But the question is, do we wait for another counterspell? Because now I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we're actually not even close to double countering during a turn. Alright, so our opponent has a board clear. Has 2 board clears, actually. So he could think about board clearing here. It's probably not worth it from his perspective. Oh, maybe it is now that he has the Castle Locthwain. Can tap it to draw more cards, but he probably can't afford to do that while he's got these things going. Do I keep... What am I going to discard with my Chemistry Insight? I could think about that right now. I think I keep the island. I want as many... Well, I've got a lot, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 lands is quite a bit. And we're probably going to draw into more, so let's actually just get rid of the island. Just 2 more lands off the top. That'd be so funny. Land. A Cling to Dust. Okay. And, well, there's God-Eternal Kefnet. So Kefnet's great here. Because Kefnet is going to use up some of my opponent's stuff here. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that great? What does Cling to Dust do? I can exile cards from his graveyard. Well, that does almost nothing. Let's pressure his life total. Haha, you fool. Now, the Kefnet is nice because he has no way to get rid of it, basically. If he exiles it, it's coming back. Oof. That hurts. So I don't think we keep up I don't think we protect this with Sabotage. Pretty sure we just leave it. And there's the Banishing Light on the Kefnet, right? That's good. We want to see that out because we've already discarded 1. Here's 2 getting used on the Kefnet. And yes, please put it in my library. Interesting game so far. Is this a legendary enchantment? Artifact, I mean? No. Okay. And there's a second Ashiok. This is perfect. So let's play our Ashiok. What instant speed thing does he have? Right, and let's plus him. And now we are just on the Ashiok train. We've got Ashiok with Sinister Sabotage backup. This is really good. Hey, don't block that, charming prince. And I guess I suspect how this deck... So the question is, how does this deck win? And I suspect that when I Sinister... Whatever answer he has for this, when he plays it and I Sinister Sabotage it, he's going to quit. This is what I predict. We'll see if that's how it goes, but... I mean, I'm not pressuring him too much. He might as well just go nuts on drawing cards. So let's see if he found something for the Ashiok. Now, I'll say one good thing about this deck is that, look what I did to my opponent, right? These cards are just basically dead cards in his hand. They don't do anything for him. Heliod. How scared of this am I? It'll let him put +1/+1 counters on creatures. Creature gains lifelink. Do I have to counter this? We have another Ashiok. Let's keep this Heliod out of here. It's a little too scary. Swamp in the graveyard. I mean, maybe that was a mistake. Yeah, it was a mistake. Okay. I mean, if he turns into a creature, I guess I could just bounce him back to his hand. What will you do now, Zach? Actually, I should save this until the Heliod. I was going to bounce the Heliod, and then I just thought, I was like, oh, I should save it till he can attack, huh? Okay. Because I don't know why I wouldn't block this. Does he have, like, a thing he can do? Let's just kill it. Poof. Oh, and that makes Heliod not a creature. Very interesting. Oh no, if only we had Farika's Libation. There's Kefnet again. There's my guy. Do I send this back to his hand? Make him exile a card? Protects Ashiok for another turn. Yes, I think I do. Probably get rid of one of these. That's what I suspect. Is what I suspect. Can you play Heliod and the board clear? 1, 2, 3. Yes, I believe so. No, he needs 2 white. He needs 3 white, actually. Oh, no, he can. He's got plenty. So I think we just keep this in my pocket here. Exile some more cards of our opponents. He's down to 35. I'm probably a lot lower than that. He's very low on life. So Ashiok can bounce the Heliod again. I mean, this is an instant, so... Exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, you gain 3 life. Otherwise, you draw a card. Sure. Sure. So I guess I'm going to see the power of Cling... Oh. This is actually sort of okay, because we're just going to drop an Ashiok on him again. Sure. Sure. Let's Cling to Dust here. And I want to get rid of Banishing Light. And what do I have to do? Exile 5 other cards from my graveyard, huh? Oh, that's when I escape it. You can take it, that's fine. Let's Cling to Dust again. We'll get rid of Treacherous Blessing, I guess, because I want to draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Submit 5. It's a nice draw effect, honestly. It's great. Another Ritual of Soot, huh? Could we Cling to Dust another time? We'll see, I guess. Oh, it doesn't make any sense to. I won't draw a card, I'll just gain some stupid life. How big are these? 3? Actually, this is amazing, right? If I get this to 3. Because that's going to destroy this, and both of these. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a killer. And then we have Thassa's, and we still have Thassa's intervention. It's Augur of Bolas here. We already have a counterspell, but I just want to look for another one. Oh my god. Oh, well, E2 Extinction's great. Okay. Boy, that was a huge play on my part. There's a Shadow to the Sky. I can make him pay 2 more for it. Otherwise, he actually can't get rid of... Okay, so this'll... Well... Do I have lethal if I counter this? Let's let it resolve. Well, holy cow, that explosion was huge. He can do that. That's fine. I mean, I've got him pretty well under control right now. Oops, didn't mean to hit that. Because I still... Yeah, and it's over. That was a good game, Zach. I deserve a little coffee for that one. We played hard. So I'll look at our quests this time. Cast 20 green or white spells. Couldn't be further from casting green or white spells with this deck. 551. We got time maybe for 1 more, 2 more. We'll see. That one took forever, but it probably was a good example of how this deck is supposed to play out. And like I said, I think it is right in this deck to not play the Ashiok on turn 5, to hold up until you have some defense for it. So now our big pain here. Sorry, I say our big pain because it's a Chandra, so I'm just imagining that it's probably a a red aggro deck, and they're going first, of course. They did not have a 1-drop though. That's pretty good for us. Ooh, I maybe should have shocked that in for the opt. Cavalcade. Go? Oh, that's perfect. That's really good for us. So let's Thought Erasure him. He's not, amazingly, he's not putting any pressure on us. So goodbye, Chandra, for sure. We keep this because we need that for the ritual. And then next is this card is going bye-bye. And will he hardcast the Skewer the Critics? Hardcast Light of the Stage. This is perfect. This is beautiful. And blue. Hey, let's get rid of... We got a little lucky that we ran into this variant. Because... I don't want another land right now. We got a little lucky we ran into this variant because the normal variant, let's say, would not have Cavalcade, would not have these 3 mana burns. It'd have aggro, you know, it'd have a bunch of creatures on the ground. So another Cavalcade comes in. So if he gets a Chandra, we are in a lot of trouble. Cry, huh? I mean, it is just removal. We sort of have a lot, though. Like, I need a way to finish this game, right? Eat to Extinction. It's probably better, honestly, than... Okay, this is good. Well, let's see what you drew, buddy. Sure. We'll get rid of that. Now we have a blocker. That's good. I guess I have to take Thought Erasure here, even though now Thought Erasure is a completely dead card. And he got Tin Street Dodger. He can make it, so I can't block it. Which is pretty good. It's going to deal 3. I'm not certain if I just Ritual of Soot this, or if I probably just eat to Extinction it. There's Ashiok. Remember when I binned that land earlier? Oops. Do I just Ritual of Soot here? It's not like Ritual of Soot's going to get easier to cast, I don't think, but... We'll wait. We'll keep him up. So land comes down. Out comes Grim Initiate. Then I think we're just eating to Extinction this thing. Poof. It's gone. Yep. We'll keep that, even though I don't love it. We'll keep it. We'll scry. And a Tyrant Scorn is probably good. Instant speed removal is good at this point. It's great. No attacks, end turn. So do I let him attack with this and then just block with the Augur? Jesus. Okay. No, we don't. We do this instead. Yep, we'll keep that. You can have all the Cavalcades in the world, bud. Now it's time for us to start generating 2/3s, and we're going to keep our blockers up. So what did he get? Fervent Champion. Luckily it just dies to our board, so... Yeah, it's not going to be enough, though. Here, why don't you exile some cards from your deck? What do we get? 2 Chandra Spitfires. Ooh, that is spicy. Right. Keep them coming. Yep. I'm going to keep this Augur of Bolas back to block. Just in case of a Chandra, of the little Chandra babies. And sure. Well, maybe I probably should have just cast this, honestly. Out comes a Scorch Spitter. What to do about a little Scorch Spitter? Another Temple of Deceit. So I think I'm going to attack with everything here. Blast Zone. Blast Zone's great. Can get rid of all these Cavalcades. So now we just attack all. Yep. Exile cards. Exile cards. Ha ha. He's not going to block any of this. But if he is reading this right, he would block one of this. And we just Ritual of Soot here. Give ourselves a new Nightmare token and end turn. Scorch Spitter comes out again. Cool. I'm tempted just to bounce this back to his hand with Ashiok. I think we do. Well, no, we have the Tyrant Scorn. Let's do this. Throw the Blast Zone out. Alright, I have enough mana to do all of this. So, we'll do this. He can't discard anything. Ritual of Soot is... Well, no, let's get it out of here. Feels good to discard a Ritual of Soot to a... to the mono red deck, doesn't it? I am so confident that I do not need... Oh boy, buddy, what's the matter? Your health is getting a little low. What is this? Another haste creature? Shock, yeah. Okay. So I don't care. And now, I don't know if he reads it right, but... Put 1 counter on our Blast Zone. Get rid of all those. Now this game's done. Wow, pretty good showing on our part, I guess I would say. Felt nice to beat that deck, I guess. 2 wins. Okay, I think I gotta call it there. But let's just take a look at this deck again. Dimir Control. I mean, those 2 games felt great, but we definitely weren't against the strongest decks in the whole bet. Now, maybe this would be honestly okay in best of 3. Because your first game, you've got a lot of tools to deal with a variety of threats. And you're just kicking back and waiting for you to get one of your big planeswalkers down. Well, Blast Zone, a superstar these past 2 games, though. So I typically have not been a Blast Zone player, but it's pretty impressive. Sideboard. Yeah, you don't really get... I mean, you get Thief. That's a new threat. But... I don't know. I think we'll be hopping into best of 3 with this tomorrow. See how it goes. Maybe I'll do a little bit more research and see if anyone has made any suggestions. But thanks for watching. Yep, this was Magic Before Work. So have a good one. Adios. Bye.